Act 2, Scene 1. Time, a few days later. Place, the interior of the First Baptist Pentecostal Church of the Almighty Savior. A large man in ministerial robes of a minister is standing at the pulpit delivering a speech. His name is the Right Reverend Milton R. Montgomery IV, D.D. The pews are packed and standing room only. Leona and Israel are seated on a dais behind the minister.
Today, my dear friends, I must share with you troubling news. There is injustice in our midst. A young man, new to our congregation, has become the victim of the most outrageous form of hypocrisy and deceit. Taken from the cradle under false pretenses and brought up in a culture completely alien and foreign to us, he was separated from his people by others who filled his mind with all kinds of worthless thoughts meant to keep him in his place and deny him the chance to share his God-given talent with the world. And when he protested, he was tossed out of his home like a hooligan who had committed the most heinous of crimes, when in fact he had done nothing wrong. Nothing that could even remotely warrant any form of reprobation. Nothing except to pursue a dream. And after he was so cruelly ejected, he found himself on the street and was so forced to turn to the one person who truly cared about him, his mother. His real mother who birthed him, and who, with the young man, is with us today. It is with the deepest humility and utmost feeling of respect and admiration that I present to you Leona Macaulay and her son Johnson Jefferson Davis Macaulay. And the sanctimonious people who claim to have our young brethren's best interest at heart are now blocking him from realizing his God-given right to achieve the American dream. And because of their stubbornness and spitefulness, he has been forced to initiate legal action to compel them to do what his real mother would have done for him if she could. But they just can't let go and must have their way at all costs, even if it means forcing the young man to make difficult and painful decisions. Their pride and arrogance is appalling. All they need to do is sign a waiver permitting him to sign a lucrative basketball contract worth millions of dollars, yet they, who claim to be people of the book, adamantly will not relent.
Boo! 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 Boo!
Injustice, my dear friends, appears in many forms. But no matter what it looks like, its fallout is always the same. And think of the toll it has taken on his long-suffering mother, who has been denied access to her own child since childbirth.
Oh, horrible, terrible, no good at all.
Terrible.
As the young man's spiritual advisor, I unequivocally support his effort to assert his right to sow the seed and harvest the fruit of his labor, pursuant to those lofty words found in the Declaration of Independence: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And pledge that I will stay at his side until this matter is successfully resolved.
Yeah!
Scene 2. Time, somewhat later. Place, on the street, in front of the Daleyville courthouse. Ricky Reporter is facing the camera.
This is Ricky Reporter reporting to you from outside the Daleyville courthouse where high school Orthodox Jewish basketball star Israel Leventhaler, who was first broadcast to you by SIN, is suing to transfer parental rights from his current parents, who are Orthodox Jews, to an unknown woman who reportedly is Israel's natural mother. Israel sued after his parents refused to approve his wish to sign a contract with the pro basketball team. According to our legal experts at the SIN studios, under state law, any person under the age of 21 must obtain the written consent of a parent to sign a contract with a professional sports entertainment company. Israel's case has been taken up by the Reverend Milton Montgomery IV of the First Baptist Pentecostal Church, who claims to be Israel's spiritual advisor. Our repeated attempts to interview Israel have been blocked by the woman who claims to be Israel's natural mother and with whom Israel is now staying. Meanwhile, there are at least 14 pro teams, both inside and outside the United States, vying for the opportunity to sign Israel. We'll be bringing you more on this story as it further develops. This is Ricky Reporter, reporting live from outside the courthouse in Daleyville. Wait a minute, ladies and gentlemen, here's the woman now. Madam, can you confirm that Israel is suing his parents?
None of your business. Don't call him Israel. His name is Johnson Jefferson Davis Macaulay, Johnny for short. And I'm his mother.
Wow, we just heard from the woman who claims to be Israel's mother. Apparently, Israel has changed his name to Johnny. This apparent name change has not yet been confirmed. We'll be bringing you more on the story as it continues to unfold. Once again, this is Ricky Reporter reporting to you from outside the courthouse in Daleyville.
End of Scene 2. Scene 3. Time, somewhat later. Place, the interior of the mediation room of the courthouse. In the middle of the room is a large rectangular table. On the left side of the table are seated Israel, Leona, Reverend Montgomery, Samantha. On the right side, Maya, Rivka, Coach Yasso Luchinsky, and Maharat Eleonora Bat Romani. Seated in the middle is the court-appointed mediator, Simon J. Appleton, Esquire.
This meeting will come to order. My name is Simon J. Appleton, and I have been appointed by the court to act as mediator in the matter of Leventhaler versus Leventhaler. As this is an informal conference, representation by an attorney is not required, and all comments will be off the record. Any questions so far? Good. Now, the purpose of this conference is to fully discuss the issues relating to the case in order to arrive at a settlement that is mutually agreeable to the parties. Do all present here understand that?
Yes.
Now, before you proceed, I will call your names and you will answer present. Israel Leventhaler.
Present, but I've changed my name to Johnny Macaulay.
Duly noted. Reverend Milton Montgomery.
Present.
Leona Macaulay.
I'm here.
Samantha Rochenstein.
Present.
Rivka Leventhaler.
Here, Your Honor.
Meyer Leventhaler.
Present, sir.
Maharat Eleonora Bat Romani.
Present.
Yosel Luchinsky.
Present, Your Honor.
I duly note that all parties are present. A discussion shall now commence, starting with the plaintiff.
That means you.
Well, sir, it's like this. I have a chance to go to school on a basketball scholarship. But being those people...
You mean your parents?
Order! No interruptions. You may continue.
won't sign the papers allowing me to sign with the pros. And it's really screwing up my life because now I have no money and no income. And I am suing to have their parental rights terminated and transferred to my real mother, Leona McCall.
How could you do this to us? We raised you from the day you were born.
Your Honor, I protest this entire proceeding. These people are using Israel because he's now a big celebrity who can make money.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, I don't. All I know is you're putting on an act.
I am a caring mother, and if you'd not been so possessive, then I would have showed you how much I care.
You were a drug addict when you gave birth to him, and now look at you. You have nothing. Meanwhile, we gave Israel everything, and now that you and that hussy over there have turned him against us. Shame on you. Shame on all of you. Have you been saying your prayers?
Yes, he has. Pray that he has nothing more to do with you.
That kind of nastiness is ruining my boy.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Madame, I believe your indignation is grievously misplaced. It should be directed at yourselves for denying this fine young man an opportunity to live the American dream.
Sir, I take issue with that statement.
How exactly are you associated with these proceedings?
I am the Chief Maharat and Spiritual Advisor for the congregation B'nai Yaakov Shabbatim, of which the Leventhalers are members. And I will tell you right now, it is Ms. Macaulay who is seeking to deny Israel the right to live the American dream, not his parents.
No way. My boy here can make millions, and you're stopping him. You people think you run this country, but you don't.
We don't run this country. We live by a set of principles that place spiritual enlightenment ahead of material gain. As far as we are concerned, you are a corrupting influence on Israel.
My dear madam, your commentary is offensive. Leona is the boy's mother, and for you to denigrate her is to denigrate the boy as well.
Sir, the fact is that the woman who has had no contact whatsoever with Israel for practically his entire life is living in a shelter, has no viable means of financial support, yet has the audacity to claim that she's got Israel's best interests in mind when she can barely care for herself. The both of you should be ashamed of yourselves for the way you've caused Israel to go against his own benefactors.
We've raised Israel to be a good, wholesome, respectable citizen, not some grubby money-making machine to be exploited by people who don't care for him.
Just because I want Johnny to be rich, don't mean I don't care about him. But in this life, money is what it's all about, lady. I'm poor, I know, and I don't want Johnny to be poor.
You're poor because of the bad choices you've made. That's your fault.
No, it's not. I just had bad breaks, that's all.
Nobody's told you to start using drugs.
I couldn't help it. My parents threw me out. I was a kid. I wasn't to blame.
And now you want our son to be like you. That is repulsive. You'll ruin him.
No, it is you who will ruin him by blocking his chance to be somebody. He's smart, but being a bookworm, that's not in his blood. His name is Johnny, and his roots go back to the deep south, to ancestors who were farmers, pioneers, soldiers,
And slave owners.
Don't you insult my family. They never owned slaves. They worked, which is more than I can say for you. And now Johnny's got a chance to make a huge amount of money, and you want to stop him.
He can make money doing something meaningful, like serving his community.
That's right, his community, the American community, not just your small, little, narrow sect.
We're part of the American community too.
No, you're not. You set yourselves apart from us regular folk by the way you dress, the way you talk, the way you think, that language you speak amongst yourselves. But I'm okay with that. You can live whichever way you want, but when it affects my son, oh, that's where I draw the line. Just because I'm poor doesn't mean I'm stupid.
Nobody is saying you're stupid.
Then stop talking to me like I am.
Madam, you're becoming hysterical.
When it comes to my son, I'll act whichever way I want. Without Johnny, I'm nothing. He's my only hope, and all you want to do is keep his head buried in books when he can become famous and make a ton of money. And remember, I'm Johnny's mother, period. He came out of me.
You did not raise him. We did. Don't you understand that?
He's Christian and he's my flesh and blood. Don't you understand that?
Look, I don't disrespect forget what you did for me. You raised me, you took care of me, but now I'm back with my mom.
Your so-called mom is telling you what you want to hear, while we are telling you what is right. It's more to life than money.
Sir, what is right for you may not be right for Johnny.
Stop calling him Johnny. His name is Israel, and he's studying to be a teacher, to serve his community.
So he could labor in obscurity?
Is that what life means to you, money? Aren't you being narrow-minded?
Narrow, not narrow-minded, realistic.
Being of service to the community has its own rewards.
Oh, Cannon, already. You know nothing. You want my boy to be a bookworm while we want him to make money. Lots of money. What's wrong with that?
It goes against our religious beliefs.
Don't make me laugh. You people own half the town and maybe half the country. You're swimming in money.
But if that's true, then there's all the more reason why Israel doesn't need money to play sports, which is frivolous nonsense. The idea of one of our own playing sport, showing off his body, is outrageous and offensive, and we won't allow it. Oh, sure, these players make a lot of money, but when they're happy, but are they happy? No, they're all corrupted, and when that happens, nothing can save them.
Sir, sports entertainment is the most lucrative business in the world today. And Johnny wants to cash in on the action. And you're stopping him from literally rolling in dough.
Rolling around like a pig. We've already told you. His name is Israel, not Johnny. Sir, please tell them to stop calling Israel Johnny.
By what name do you want to call him?
I prefer to let you decide that, Your Honor.
What's he called at school?
At school, he's called Israel Lebenthaler.
Who are you to him again?
I'm Israel's high school basketball coach.
And how is he doing as a basketball player?
Israel is without a doubt the best high school player I have ever seen, bar none. He can do it all, and he does it with ease. Ever since he joined the team, we can't lose. I've seen him do stuff on the court that even the pros can't do. Because of Israel, we now have the best high school team in the state, and maybe in the nation. But even though we like to win and enjoy playing sports, our goal is to produce scholars, not jocks. And I don't want Israel to become a jock.
Come on, Coach, I'm no jock.
With me, you never were. But now, I don't know, because these people seem to have their claws in you.
You're wrong, sir. Johnny is a kind, gentle boy, and he wouldn't hurt a fly. If he wasn't, I wouldn't be with him.
A nice Jewish girl pursuing a boy? Disgraceful. Where did your parents go wrong with you?
Keep my parents out of it, and nothing went wrong with me. This is how I feel, and that's all there is to it.
You've ruined my boy.
Ooh, he's my boy, not yours.
You ingrate! You came to us when you needed help and we responded, and now you call us names? The nerve of you!
Blood's thicker than water.
But water is the source of all life.
And air, something we need to breathe. So what's your point?
The point is, you're a drunk. That's the point, and all you care about is yourself.
Don't talk to my mother.
I am your mother, not her. That woman is a nobody, nothing but a conniving, selfish fool.
You can call me all the names you want, but I'm still his mother, and you're not.
Where were you when Israel first started walking and talking, or when he attended his first day of class? I nurtured him, not you. I'm his mother, and we want Israel to come home.
But you threw me out.
That was her fault, not ours. You can come home anytime you want.
Return to what? To school? With no money? Give me a break.
No, to having a good life, because that's what he deserves, and that's where he belongs.
Wrong. Johnny belongs with us, not you. He's a member of the First Baptist Pentecostal Church.
No, he's not. He's a member of the B'nai Yaakov congregation. And as for you, Israel, you should be ashamed of yourself for the way you're treating your parents. Save yourself while you can. Don't believe that con artist. He's just interested in your money. Come back to us. We'll take care of you. You know we love you.
You have a funny way of showing it.
What's funny about it? Your parents love you, while the people you're staying with now just want to use you.
Madame, your accusations are completely groundless and offensive, and I take issue with them.
Take issue with them all you want. I don't care. I'm telling the truth, and I'm willing to fight to save a member of my congregation from corruption.
I already told you. He's a member of my congregation. Isn't that right, Johnny?
I guess so. You mentioned something about them being interested in my money.
They're waiting for you to sign on the dotted line so they can take your money.
Why, you...
Calm down. That's what I'm waiting for, too. The money.
You'll be signing your life away and undo everything you learned from us and ruin your life. Don't you understand that? Don't you see that it's a pipe dream?
You bet it's a dream, but it's no pipe dream, it's real. We're talking about some big money.
You mean big problems.
You messed up Johnny's head and made him into something that he's not.
That's the truth.
Israel, how can you do this? We loved you, did everything for you.
But you lied to me. You told me my mother was dead.
But we said it for your own good, and besides, for all practical purposes, she was dead. Look at her now.
She was alive to me.
Alive? Just existing. There's a difference. She's bringing you down to her level.
Hey, that's my mother you're talking about.
I know exactly who I'm talking about. Now, so, what can I say?
If you were my son, I'd have you sent as far away from here as possible.
Coach, what do you want me to do? This lady is my mother!
No, this lady is your mother. She cared for you, nurtured you. In fact, I remember when she brought you home from the hospital. She was so proud that she did something so good, adopting a baby.
Sentimental rubbish.
So what? It's still true.
I've had enough of all this nonsense. Now, let's get down to business. Are you willing to grant Johnny permission to sign with the pros?
He can do whatever he wants when he turns 21, but until that time, the answer is no. Neither my wife nor I will give consent.
So, you want the young man to wait 3 long years before allowing him to sign? That is outrageous. Indeed, I would go so far as call it criminal. In 3 years, anything can happen. Johnny has to strike while the iron is hot. Those contract offers won't wait. Before he knows it, those offers will disappear and he will be left with nothing. Do you want to be responsible for that?
You're talking about the future. I'm talking about now. You can bluster and filibuster all you want. Get on your high horse. The answer is, and will always be, no.
You people are out of your mind. Sir, let me tell you right now that I have my boy's best interest at heart and will sign whatever papers that have to be signed, giving him permission to play in the pros. I don't want my boy to lose a chance to make millions of dollars. This has nothing to do with me. It has to do with my boy. I'm just a poor woman who lives on the street. I don't want that to happen to us.
This is all theatrics.
A lot you know. I'm a mother pleading for her flesh and blood.
Don't make me laugh. When you gave Israel to us, you voluntarily signed away your parental rights.
These legal details are irrelevant. What is relevant is the boy's happiness and what he wants.
It's not what Israel wants. It's what you want.
I'm starting to believe that maybe this whole exercise is a waste of time.
That's right, a waste of our time. We should be suing you.
Your stiff connected willfulness is going to drive Johnny into the poorhouse.
Listen, I've been coaching high school basketball for 30 years, and let me tell you, not one of my boys ever wound up on the street or in the poorhouse or in trouble.
Well, you're talking about real Jewish boys. My son is not one of them. He is Christian, not a Jew. So his situation is different.
I've only known him as a Jew.
But he's not a Jew. He is Christian. He can't be both.
What are you talking about?
Sir, you're denying facts.
I'm not denying anything. Israel is a Jew. He's studying to be a rabbi.
Come, sir. Johnny, a Christian rabbi? I don't think so.
All I want is for Israel to come home.
He has a home.
You call
With
a,
me.
You call a homeless shelter a home?
It suits my needs.
Israel, come home with us now and we can talk about your future, please. We love you.
I really don't know what to do. I want to play basketball, but I also want something more.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the tone of this conversation, it seems to me that the parties are at an impasse.
Impasse? What does that mean?
It means that neither party is able or willing to reach an agreement.
Well, that ain't my fault.
It's not our fault either, but if you think we're going to forfeit to our parental rights, we have another thing coming to you.
All Leona wants is that Johnny not be denied his opportunity for happiness. And so is asking that you be so kind as to sign off on a piece of paper that will secure him that happiness.
And we don't want to step in the way of Israel's happiness either. We believe that by him turning pro at a tender age, he will be corrupted and will be acting in a way that is contrary to our cultural values and religious beliefs.
Well then, maybe the judge is right, and we'll have to take it to court.
Oh, you do what you have to do, but we're not signing off on anything. Not now, not ever. As for you, young man, you have a lot of thinking to do.
Oh, Mom, Dad!
End of scene 3. Scene 4. Time, sometime later. Place. A throng of reporters are standing outside of the locker room at Talmudic Institute. At the front are Ricky reporter and her cameraman.
This is Ricky Reporter coming to you from outside the locker room at Talmudic Institute, where we have just learned that high school basketball star Israel Lebenthaler has been kidnapped. Coach Luchinsky will now make a statement.
Quiet, everybody. I have an announcement to make. Israel Lebenthaler disappeared right before the start of today's game. Currently, his whereabouts are unknown, but his parents have asked me to convey this message to whoever perpetrated this act to please release Israel unharmed. This matter has been reported to the police, who are currently investigating.
Coach, there have been reports that Israel has changed his name to Johnny, and he is disavowed being Jewish. Is that true?
Right now, I can't confirm that. However, what I can confirm is that he's still a student at the Talmudic Institute.
Do you think that his disappearance has anything to do with this court case?
Once again, that's a matter for speculation. Right now, my concern is for Israel's safety.
Was Israel staying in that shelter in this town?
As you know, for the past few days, Israel has been staying temporarily with some friends in town.
Are any pro teams still interested in Israel?
As far as I know, interest in Israel is still running high.
Is it true that one of the friends he was staying with is his actual mother?
As you know, it is a physical impossibility for anyone to have two mothers. Nevertheless, the Lebenthalers are praying that Israel is safe and he will soon be found.
Meaning what?
Meaning that we are all hoping for the best. I have nothing more to say.
At an impromptu news conference at the Talmudic Institute, basketball coach Yosel Luchinsky confirmed that Israel Lebenthaler is currently missing and that the matter is under investigation by the police. We'll be bringing you more information as the story develops. This is Ricky Reporter reporting from the Talmudic Institute locker room.
End of scene 4. Scene 5. Time, 7 years later. Place, a police interrogation room at the Daleyville police station. In the center of the room is a table, and at either side of the table, chairs. Israel is sitting on a chair on the left side. On the right side, facing him, are two detectives, Detective O'Hara and Detective Clemenzo. O'Hara is sitting and Clemenzo is standing. Both are dressed in civilian clothing. Israel is neatly but casually attired. He is clean-shaven. Hanging from his neck is a blue Star of David, inside of which is a white Christian cross.
Okay, Israel, I think you have a lot of explaining to do.
You know, we've been searching for you for 7 years. Ever since you pulled that disappearing act. You know you had your mother worried?
Which mother? I have two of them.
You mean had? I hate to break this news to you, but Rivka Leventhaler died 3 years ago.
I didn't know that. It's my father.
Not feeling too well from what I understand.
I want to go see him.
Not so fast, okay? You're not going anywhere yet.
Look, I came back. Isn't that enough?
No, it's not good enough. First, you have some accounting to do for the time you're away. So, what's your story?
All the nagging and the fussing, it became too much for me, so I ran away. I faked a report that I'd been kidnapped, shaved off my beard, stopped dressing like a Jew, and changed my name. Trying to start a new life, trying to figure out exactly who I am. Playing basketball was out of the question. To me, it meant trouble. It wasn't worth the money. I know people don't believe me when I say that, but it's true. But scrounging for work in foreign countries wasn't much of a life either, so I decided to return home.
You caused a lot of people a lot of grief.
Well, I guess I did, but there's nothing I can do about that now.
Okay, we're going to offer you a deal. We're going to let you go and not charge you with anything, provided that you agree never to show up in this town again.
Can't I go see my father?
Okay.
Can't I go see my father?
No. He's in a nursing home, and wouldn't recognize you anyway. Also, he disowned you.
What about my mother, Leona?
Oh, her? After you disappeared, she left town with that flim-flam man Montgomery. We haven't heard from either of them since. By the way, was Leona really your mother?
She said she was. I could at least call this girl I knew
Oh, you mean Samantha, what's her name?
Rosenstein.
That girl who had a crush on you?
Yes, her.
No. I guess that's out of the question, too. She's married now to the nephew of Maharat Batramani. She's got 3 children and lives outside of town.
What about Coach Luchinsky?
He retired 3 years ago, and I heard he lives somewhere in Florida.
Well, then I guess coming back here was all for nothing.
I wouldn't say that.
Why not?
Because now you know that whatever you're looking for is not here. It's gone. By the way, you said you changed your name. What did you change your name to?
Hasidic Jones.
Israel slowly gets up, shakes hands with both detectives, and exits as the lights go out. End of scene 5. Scene 6. Time. Sometime later. Place. The SIM studio. Seated at the table are Merle, Lucy, and Ricky.
There are reports that the National Football Conference may do away with certain penalties as a way to reduce the number of stoppages of play and thereby shorten the length of time to finish a game.
That's right, Merle. It seems that more and more fans are complaining about the lengths of the games, which are now averaging over 5 hours. Many are calling for the networks to air fewer commercials, too. But you know that as long as the sponsors are paying the bill, that's not going to happen anytime soon.
As the saying goes, money talks.
Now, in another matter, we have in the studio our special correspondent, Ricky Reporter, who has a story about a controversial figure from the past. So, what's the scoop, Ricky?
Well, according to well-informed sources, Israel Leventhaler, the Orthodox Jewish high school player who disappeared 7 years ago, resurfaced in Daleyville, and then as quickly as he showed up, he disappeared again. We spoke with town officials who neither confirmed nor denied the rumor. As you know, the situation with Leventhaler was one of the more bizarre sports stories that we reported on, and all we can do now is wait and see if he resurfaces again.
Is it possible that he may be playing basketball somewhere else under another name?
Anything is possible, but as of right now, his whereabouts are unknown, and that's too bad because he had all the tools for greatness, but it just didn't happen.
Thanks for the update, Ricky. And now for our next story.
End of scene 6. Scene 7. Israel enters and faces the audience.
Ladies and gentlemen, standing before you today is the modern-day wanderer in search of an identity. I'm part Jew, and that's all right. I say my prayers both day and night. I genuflect and daven too, and wear a cross of Jewish blue. I strut my stuff and go the mile to shul and church with a big broad smile. But if you want to split my case, I'll block your shot right in your face. The basketball was but a toy, which brought some fun, but left no joy. So all you peeps who pull at me, just go away and let me be.
The end.